Okay, guys, just want to talk a little bit about this trade, about what's going on in the market. Don't really worry about. I have. Don't really worry about this right now. What I have. Uh, yeah, I mean, I'll explain this trade. I have a position in ES and I have a position in YM, but what I want to focus on is this, and I hope this is not revolutionary. It's just sometimes some of the simplest things in trading make the difference. Okay. And trading doesn't have to be really difficult if you can be patient and if you get rid of the notion that you need to be in every single one of these swing points to make money. That's what I find to be the biggest problem with most traders. This is what happened this morning. We moved up, and I'm not even going to get into prior days, but there were clues as to what the bias of today should be. We made this directional move up. I went long around this area and got out in this area. Then we started trading within that range all day long. Okay. In the index futures, if you're trading the regular trading hours, be very aware of the initial range because that's quite important. And the rest of the day, you should always consider price action in the context of the initial range. In short, we've been consolidating all of this time. Okay. Every time we rise, every time we test the lows, we haven't tested this low, but every time we come to this swing point that was made earlier in the day, we bounce off of it again. And what's happening is we're getting this consolidation and the range is getting narrower and narrower. Now, what's happening is volatility. You can think of it as volatility decreasing, contracting, however you want to put it. So the idea is when that happens, obviously volatility needs to expand again. Okay, so now take a look at the ticks. Okay, and then notice what happened here. We moved up here and now we're consolidating in this area. Okay, we haven't done that all day long. Every time we tested this high quickly we were rejected. Do you see how we're consolidating in this area? Okay, that's your signal that, and then that's if you correspond that with price action, you see that price action began to move up, and that's when the ticks started doing that. Right after lunch, around any moves, big moves always occur anywhere between 130 to 230. We began this move. Volatility came in here. Look at this widespread candles here. Pulled back, tested it. Okay, you have a little bit of. We tested this left shoulder here, and we broke out, and that coincides with this move. When I see that, and just I don't recommend this type of trades for. I don't recommend these type of trades for new traders. When I saw that, and I was busy doing some work, working on some projects, I saw that. I looked at the ticks just because of my screen time. I just jumped in, basically. Okay, I jumped in. I knew that this pattern we're gonna go. Now, if you look at the ticks, we're gonna keep bouncing and bouncing, and okay, bouncing. What I mean by we're gonna keep ticking right into the high tick areas. As long as that happens, we're going to extend the range. So I'm hoping for a breakout here. So this is now, when you look at my Keltner channels, the trend was down when I took the trade, okay? But my oscillator is giving me buy signals because it continuously keeps hitting overbought, overbought, overbought. And overbought is not always a sell signal. So you have to look at overbought in the context of the trade. Same thing with my VB oscillator, giving me buy signals in the contraction. So now the next test is, for me, I want to see us break the highs, which we just did. Okay. So now probability of all the E-minis making higher highs and rallying into the close is fairly high. Now we can't quickly reverse. So what I'm going to do now is take half my position off. Okay. Let's cover half my position in the S&Ps. Oops. Get back. What I just did was I got out. Um, that was not very smart, and I'm gonna get half my position out. and YM. Just book some profits, okay? And place my stop. We'll go back to ES. And since I got out that position, now it's going to show a loss because this calculates real-time PNL. No big deal. I know where I got in, so I'll manage it that way. And then just let the rest ride. If your break-even stop gets hit, then get out. If not, then you'll have a nice rally into the close and you'll be able to take advantage of it. And that's pretty much it. So the main point is when we are consolidating within the initial range, pay attention to the internals. You're going to get most of your clues from if you trade index futures from the internals. And volume breadth started moving up from this low and it started creeping up, and for the first time it crossed the zero line, and that occurred right within this consolidation. It started flirting with the zero line for the first time, that is prior to here and here, okay? But each time we tested it, the ticks in this area, when we tested the zero line on view, the ticks pulled back quickly. They didn't consolidate. That's pretty much what I wanted to discuss. I'm just going to manage my trade. Do happen to get if we do happen to get a rally into the close, I'll take advantage of it. If not, my trailing stop will get hit. My plans, unless something very obvious happens, my plans aren't to change the stop. I'll just keep it at break even. Uh, what I'm going to do is just pause the video, and at the close I'll open the video back up and show you what happened. I either got my trailing stop hit or I'm just going to take profits. Okay guys, cash market just closed. What I'm going to do is, since I'm long both YM and ES, I'm going to close my YM position. Okay. Now I had taken 5 off of that, so I just pulled about 1100 off of that, and I had pulled another 1K off of it earlier. What I did with the ES position, when I took off 1K off of it earlier, I closed the entire position, so I jumped back in. So my entry is actually 8150 on ES. So really, although it's showing here that I'm in the red a little bit slightly, I'm up about another 1K to 1100 on it. Now, the reason I'm not closing ES is because I want to wait to see if we'll push up one more time. If not, no big deal. Just want to uh, wait a little bit longer. Now, if you're wondering why I didn't just put 20 contracts in ES, because that's not a lot of contracts for it, reason is that I wasn't sure. I thought that I figured let me spread it between both because sometimes one of them will run much farther. In other words, although they move together, one of them has the capability of moving a greater distance, creating more profits for me. And that's the main reason why I split up my trades. I just giving it a shot. It didn't really make much of a difference, but I just gave it a shot to see if that would occur. Now, I will just watch this area here. I want us to pull up from this area. If not, then I will just close the position. Either way, even if I get tagged here, yeah, I'll lose this profit, but it'll still be a profitable trade. Okay, I'm starting to see a little bit of a consolidation. If we try to push down lower, I'll close this trade. It's looks like we're not going to push up higher, and if we are, it might look it doesn't look like it's so far. So I'm gonna just keep my finger on the close button just to flatten because I'm not liking what I'm seeing here. So I don't want to give away too much of my profits. And you'll see me constantly adjusting my market analysis. So it's not I don't shoot from the hip. I don't trade that way, but I'm constantly adapting myself. I'm constantly monitoring and my position, and I'll constantly change my trade management decisions. I'm fairly comfortable doing that. Now, if I were very indecisive and it created headaches for me, gave me a lot of stress, then I would suggest, then I wouldn't do that. I would suggest for someone like that to have clear black and white entry exit rules and follow those like a robot. Yeah, we're trying to push. This is basically bearish territory right here. Okay, two soldiers, two red soldiers. You can think of it that way. This is bearish territory and this is bullish territory. They're trying to push into it right now, and that's what's causing me to want to flatten my position. I would have liked to see as soon as we came here, buyers come in and push it up higher without any hesitation. It looks like we're going to try to spike lower. And I might end up financing that spike lower by getting out into that spike, which is not a good idea. Okay, just close my position because I'm not going to finance that position. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. You guys have a good weekend. Hope everybody had a good week of trading and enjoy your weekend.